Welcome everybody to a special Cheddar Climate celebrating Earth Day. The deep blue sea is a crucial part of our world, and now officials are unveiling new measures designed to protect our ocean amid the climate crisis. U.S. climate envoy John Kerry announcing the U.S. will lead initiatives including decarbonizing the global shipping sector by 2050, creating marine reserves, and much more. Joining us now, we're so pleased to say, Phillippe and Ashlan Cousteau, co-authors of Oceans for Dummies. Phillippe is also the grandson of legendary explorer and conservationist Jacques Cousteau. Phillippe and Ashlan, welcome to the show. We are so pleased to have you. Let's dive right in. Why is it so important for the U.S. to make ocean conservation a priority?
Well, we're really delighted to be here. Thank you for having us. You know, it's as a previous guest just said, you know, the United States and China are responsible for 45% of the global emissions in the world, and we can't solve this problem without them being involved. Well, we also can't solve the climate crisis without elevating the oceans to where they need to be in terms of recognizing the role that the ocean plays in regulating our climate and the suffering that the ocean is undergoing right now. So we're here to really continue to let people know and to emphasize the importance of the ocean as central to this discussion. And we're thrilled to hear climate envoy Kerry make these kinds of commitments, because we do need leadership on ocean conservation. Far too long, the ocean has been kind of an afterthought in this discussion, and it needs to be absolutely central.
You actually teed me up for my next question. How will protecting the ocean help mitigate the climate crisis, not only in our country, but around the world?
I mean, when you think about our planet, you know, about 71% of our planet is ocean. So right there, we have a lot of space to cover. And really, you know, our ocean has done us a huge service by actually absorbing about a third of the carbon emissions that we have put into our atmosphere through the burning of fossil fuels. Now, that doesn't come without a cost. And that cost is our ocean is becoming more acidic. The pH of our ocean is actually rising. And that is making a lot of creatures that are the basis of the food chain that have shells not be able to create those shells, which can disrupt our entire food web. And also, because of the increased greenhouse gases that we've put into our atmosphere, the ocean is also warming. So while our ocean has done us many favors, it's also suffering the consequences. But many people look at the ocean as too big to fail, and it's facing these huge issues. But truly, as Phillippe said, you know, our ocean should really be seen as our largest ally in fighting the climate crisis.
So well said, and in such a concise way, Ashlan. Thank you for that. So what are some of the biggest misconceptions about the ocean and, of course, its role in the world?
Well, as Ashlan said, one of them is this idea that it's too big to fail, right? The ocean regulates our climate. So when we think about climate, weather, rainfall, crops, food, all of that stuff, we have the ocean to thank. And yet, as the ocean's warming, as Ashlan pointed out, that function is changing. And that's why we're getting these extreme weather and these extreme patterns. And in some cases, you know, we talk about climate weirding, or certainly climate change. It's because of the function of the ocean and how it moves heat around the planet. As it's warming, that is being impeded, and thus our entire planet's changing with disastrous consequences. So that's one. The ocean is not too big to fail. We're having a massive impact in changing its very function in how it regulates our planet.
And for a long time, we looked at the ocean as kind of a bottomless pit of seafood, because there are billions of people around the world that rely on seafood specifically for their main source of protein. But right now, 90% of the fish stocks around the world are either fished to capacity or are overfished. So we are currently fishing ourselves out of fish.
So what can we do about it? Essentially, is thinking about, you know, how do we protect places in the ocean, as climate envoy Kerry just said just recently, in commitment to protecting areas in the ocean. We also need to restore the ocean, because if we can recarbonize the ocean, in other words, restore living animals that are carbon sinks, restore habitats like seagrass and mangroves that absorb carbon, we can decarbonize the atmosphere. So the ocean can be an important ally in combating climate change.
Guys, I have to say those numbers and facts are absolutely astounding. So what do you want to see come out of the summit happening this week?
You know, I hope that we get a lot of attention on our ocean. First and foremost, I think that a lot of times, you know, the ocean has been left out of our planet conversation, out of our Save the Planet conversation, and out of the climate crisis. So we really do hope that people are coming around, and we think that they are. Literally, there is a wave of people that see the ocean now as one of our best ways to save us. Yeah. To put it lightly.
Let's talk about your nonprofit, Earth Echo. How is it working to make a difference, guys?
So Earth Echo International, we've been around 15 years now. We've activated over 2 million people in 146 countries around the world. And our focus is building a global youth movement to restore and protect the ocean planet. And fundamentally what it's about is recognizing the next generation is optimistic and determined. And we can't build an effective global environmental movement and grow that movement without targeting education and youth empowerment. And that's really what it's about, building ocean literacy, connecting the dots, helping people recognize the role that the environment and that they play in building a hopeful, positive future. We have a 2-year-old daughter, and in the last—
and one on the way.
And one on the way. And in the last 40 years, we've seen about half the global biodiversity disappear on this planet in our lifetime. And I look down at our daughter and I think to myself, what have we done to her world? And so really it's about empowering them in that generation to recognize that we need to build the political and economic will globally to make the kind of change that is necessary, the drastic change.
Well, congratulations to your expanding family. Thank you for everything you guys are doing and highlighting. We hope you come back. Truly a privilege to talk to both of you. Phillippe and Ashlan Cousteau, co-authors of Oceans for Dummies. There's that book. I have to get my hands on it. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, guys.